Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use union by name to join two different data frames by using column names. So union by name, so we need to require both data frames have to be same schema and same order. So this is for union. So in case of union, um, we had to satisfy this condition. But in case of union by name, allows union by matching column names instead of order. So in union, schema and order is important, but union by name, column names are important. So union by name function in PySpark used to combine two or more data frames based on their column names rather than positional order. So here what I'm trying to do is, so I'm creating two data frames here. So my first data frame is this one. So I have one CSV file. So this is in my catalog. So I'm trying to read here. So here I'm assuming header equal to true and info schema equal to true. So on top of that, what I'm doing is I'm changing the data type. This particular column data type I'm changing to string type. So by default it reading as integer type. So that I'm changing to string type. So next what I'm doing, so I'm trying to print the columns. So column names. And next I'm trying to print the number of columns. That means total number of columns. And next one is count. So this particular table has how many rows. So here, so first it giving the number of columns in this particular table, in this data frame, and total number of columns are 13 and total number of rows are 100. And this is my data frame. And if you see here, so this is my data frame. So now I'm creating one more data frame. So this is my CSV file. So device underscore level. So here also I'm trying to print all three same things like columns, the column names in the form of list and total number of columns and total number of rows. And if you observe in first data frame, we have total number of columns are 13. And in second data frame, we have total number of columns are 11. So number of columns are different now. So now what I'm trying to do here is, here I'm trying to find out those two different column names. So that means in data frame 1, we have 13. In data frame 2, we have 11. So that two different column names I'm trying to print here by using set and first table dot columns and minus set of second table dot columns. So what it gives is it will print the columns in first table, the columns in first table, but not in second table. So these are the two columns which are there in df1 but not there in df2. So on top of that, what I am trying to do is I'm adding one more column to existing df1. So that means for first data frame, I'm trying to add one column here. So column name is this one, and here I'm using lit and one constant value I'm passing here. So if I try to do this, so here one more new column will get added here at the end. See here, this new column got added. And if you see here, this constant value, it is passing through the data frame. And next, what I'm doing is for second data frame, I'm trying to add 3 columns. So why here I'm adding 3 columns is, so this session ID and session name. So we find out here. So here we found that these are all the 2 columns not available in df2. So those 2 columns, what I'm doing is I'm trying to fill with null values. Okay, so additionally, so this column we added just now for df1. So this column we added for df1. So for df2 also I'm adding same column, but with a different constant value. So here constant value is different, device underscore category. So that in df1, initially we have 13 columns. On top of that, I added 1 column. So total becomes 14 columns. In df2, initially we have 11 columns. And later I added these 3 columns. Now total 14 columns. So that means now df1 and df2 both has 14 columns and column names are same. Okay, so now, and you can observe this, what these 3 columns, what we created now. So session ID and session name. So these are on C null. So I filled with the lit function as null. So we are getting nulls. And granularity, I given constant value. So now what I'm trying to do is, on top of this, I'm doing union by name. So this is my table 1 dot union by name and table 2. So now what will happen, since our column names are same, but order is different. So order is different only for these 2 columns. If you see in df1, it will come somewhere in between session name. What is those columns? Session ID and session name. If you see here, session ID and session name, it coming at the middle somewhere. But if you see in df2, since we added on top of that, so it coming at the end. Okay, so column names are same, but order is different. So, but still, since it is satisfying union by condition, like column names should be same. So order doesn't matter. So what will happen? It will combine these 2 data frames. But if you observe here, since we given df1 here, it will consider the order of the df1 columns. If you see here df1 columns order, so this is our final df columns order. Session ID and session name, it started with start date and it ended with granularity. Product ID, load date time, granularity. But so union by it consider df1 column order. And if you observe here, it started with start date and you can see session ID, session name. So it following as df1 column order. See here, sessions, product ID, load date time, granularity. But if you see df2, the columns order are different. Okay, so here for df2, here order is there, these columns. Since I mentioned, since it follows df1 columns order, so it following this one. So now what we have to observe is df1 union by name df2. So mainly which one we need to see is in df1 we have 100 rows and df2 we have 100 rows. So majorly we did transformation in 3 columns. So one is granularity. If you see granularity up to 100, up to 100th row, it will be few. Yeah. So up to here, this constant value is different campaign. Because for df1, we added, this is the constant value for df1. And from 101 to 200, we added constant value as this one, device category. Okay, so this is one difference after combining union. And one more is session ID and session name. If you observe here, session ID and session name up to 100, that means first 100 rows will be all values. That means whatever in df1, it will come as it is. See here, session ID, session name. So these are all df1. These are all df1. For df2, we added this one. We added these 2 columns because initially in df2, we don't have these 2 columns. Later, we added these 2 columns with null values. And if you observe from 101 to 200, these 2 columns all will be having null values. Okay, so now by using code, we'll cross verify and we'll make some table to understand this better. So here what I'm trying to do is, here I'm creating table spark.create data frame data, and I'm giving columns as this one. One is table, this is table name, and distinct values. So first here I'm trying to make table for this granularity column, that is final one. So that is our this final column. So this one. So for this column, we are trying to make the table here. So here what I'm doing is, so one is bronze table, silver table, gold table. So table names are given like that. So here what I'm doing is, here I'm using list comprehension. In list comprehension, what I'm doing, since I want to do it for granularity column, so I given row of column for row in bronze table. From bronze table, for which column I want granularity. So that's why I given df1 table, select granularity, and I want only distinct values. So I given distinct and I given collect, because this is we are collecting data for this particular column. So all the rows records we are collecting into list. Since we given list comprehension, so our final result will be in the form of list. And if you see here for bronze table, this granularity, since we are checking for bronze table, so initially bronze table, this particular column, we have only one constant value, that is campaign. And a similar way, if you check for second table, that is silver table, so same condition. So here only changes is table name. So remaining column, distinct, collect, everything same. So initially for df2 column, df2 table, we have constant value as device category. And after doing union by, so that is gold table. So here also condition is same, only difference is table name. So df gold table. So same column, select granularity dot distinct collect. So in df1 table, we have one constant value common. In df2, we have one constant value device category. After doing union by, now we are getting two constant values, campaign and device category. So since I given distinct, it will give only these two distinct values. Okay, so this is on granularity column. So next we need to check on other two columns also. So here I given collect, why we are using collect here. This collects all the rows from the data frame into the Python list. See here, this is a list now. See, it is getting result in the form of list. So that's why we used collect here. So next, so we need to check for other two columns also, session ID and session name. So same code I'm using here. So only column name I'm changing here, session underscore ID. I'm checking for all three tables, bronze, silver, gold. And here I want to get only unique records. Since I want a result in the form of a list, I'm using collect here. So whatever the values under this particular column I want to get, that means unique records. In this particular column, session underscore ID column records, unique records, I want in the form of list, collect. Okay, so now what we'll get is, so here column names are same, table, distinct, sessions. So for bronze table, if you see here, in df1, we have all unique values here, distinct sessions. See here, all are 99. 99 means from 0 to 99, total 100 records, 100 records it has collected here. Because we don't have any distinct records in this, all are separate unique records. But in case of silver table, what we did is for session underscore ID, we filled with null values. So since we filled null values and since we given distinct here, so we are getting single null here. And after doing union by, what will happen? All these records plus null, that will get here. If you see here from 0, index 0 to 99, index 0 to 99, these are all df1 records, df1 of session ID records, session ID column records, and 100 to 200, 100 to 199, we all filled with null values. Since we given distinct, it giving only single null here. Okay, so like this, we can make it a table and we can cross verify. So after completion of union by, we are getting exact result or not. Next, a similar way, I'm checking for session underscore name also. So same sort of code, only column name is different. And if you check this one for table one, so we have distinct records of this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 distinct records we have in df1 table. In df2 table, for this particular column, we filled with null values. So that's why we're getting single null value here. So after doing union by in gold table, so what we'll get? These values, table df1 values plus df2. If you see here, first up to here, this is the df1 records and this is df2. So that means in df2, all 100 records filled with null. Okay, so that's how you can make it a table and you can cross verify. This you can say is sort of unit testing. So after performing your union by, so you want to cross verify, that you can call as unit testing. So like this, you can do unit test. So this is the how to use union by name on joining two different data frames and how to cross verify by creating table unit test. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.